This is leg 3 of the trip from Padstow to Newlyn around Land's End. You can see Land's End down here. So this is quite a long trip. It's 60 miles, this makes no difference, and 12 hours. Add on to that arriving in Newlyn and departing from Padstow, and you see that we've got at least 13 hours or more of sailing here, most of which is down the main coast here, and you can see the hour markings knocked off there. So hour 1, hour 2, 3, 4. These are all 5 knot intervals, 5 nautical mile intervals, which gives us a rough idea of where we should be at various times. And you can see down there that we've got that's the 12 hours. Not accounting for tide, which will always work against us or for us. The idea is that we get to Land's End with favourable tides or slack water if possible. It's all constrained by being able to leave Padstow at high water, because the tidal gate on the inner harbour only works 2 hours either side of high water, so that's when we've got to go. We're working on neap tides, which means that the lowest tide flow, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we start off, we come out of Padstow into Padstow Bay. You'll see in the video following that there's a photograph from about here, looking that way to Treble's Head on the Gulland Rock. Again, we've got these typical Cornwall features of a headland and rocks running out into the sea. And if you lower the sea level quite a bit, we're about 10 meters, you can see that's a mirror of the coast there. So when when the ice was melting from the last ice age, the sea would have been much lower, and that would have been the coastline. As it is now, we've got shallow water over the top of it. So we then move down the Cornish coast, all the way down here to St Ives. And again, another of these features here is Godrevy Head. Here you can see that if you're not 10 metres off the water, all this will be exposed. Very, very dangerous area there, so we'll avoid that. Once we get past St Ives, we start moving down the Land's End coast. Very, very rocky, glacial, not glacial, volcanic. So lots of magma and inclusion rocks. Good example of that is Brissons there. That's a volcanic plug. And then you've got the Longships Lighthouse here. So you can see here's the rocks that are standing proud of the water, Longships Lighthouse, and for scale there's a little yacht. We will be going out there. That's roughly where we'll be passaging Longships. After Longships, we go round the corner to the Runnel Stone, and then up the coast past Mousel and into Newlyn Harbour here, which you can see this way. And there is the tidal observatory, and this is roughly where the moorings are for the pontoons are for the yachts. So that is leg 3. Leg 4 of the trip is from Newlyn, where we finished the long trip from Padstow, and now we're moving round to Falmouth. So you can see Newlyn here, round the Lizard, which is another crux move, and up into Falmouth Harbour. The distance here is 33.8, is just over half the distance we did before. 7 hours of sailing round there, which is, we can ride that on more or less one tide. So we get out to Newlyn as easy as possible. We take the best tide we can across the bay. So we leave Newlyn. Features here St Michael's Mount, which is another of those volcanic plugs. Across Mounts Bay down to the Lizard, and again you see all the rocks and overfalls which we avoid, and then we head up the coast. This is the most southerly point on the whole trip, by the way. Head up the coast here and then move into Falmouth Harbour. It's one of the deepest harbours in the world, second or third or something like that, mainly due to the Carrick roads here. And if we have a look at that there, it's 24 metres deep, which is very, very deep for a river estuary, and into Mylor Yacht Haven. You can see there. And this is a very, very busy sailing area. This is the way in here, and we get on one of those pontoons down there.